My mother is not that's not the example I was given because my mother doesn't do accountability
Mm-hmm.
because um my brother still lives with her to this day
Mm-hmm.
and he a whole rapist. Um yeah, accountability is not something that was shown me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a work in progress.
It's a
But like you
yeah.
said, the first step is this is a first step for me. What I do here in the Each One Teach One series that I do is just owning, learning accountability. It's the truth.
This is really big of you, and you should definitely recognize this as a major step in taking accountability, because you can't take it, no, because a lot of this happened in private and you're doing this publicly, right? So there's no other way for you to take accountability and to show that you are trying to make amends for some of the decisions and actions that you've done. But I want to ask you this, because you as you were talking in the beginning, you said that you were violated by your mother's son. Is that your brother and you just don't consider him your brother? Or is this like, a stepson? I don't want to get into details if it's going to trigger you.
It don't trigger me. I
Okay.
don't care. I just had the conversation with mommy the other day, so I'm fine.
Okay. So can we
I'm
talk
the
about
baby of
that?
7 children.
Okay.
I'm the baby of 7 children, biological children to my mother. Her oldest son that came out of the same badge, different fathers, of course, but the same mother. Yeah, him and his brother, same mother, both of them. But he was the worst. He's a habitual offender. If you Google his name, you'll see his face in a few of his um, victims. And yeah, he's still free.
Hmm. So this is a touchy thing, and I really want to be sensitive to this.
You don't have to be. I'm fine.
Okay. So what happened? Was first time violation? What happened?
5 years old, Houston, Texas, over there, up the street, around the corner, West Park. Uh, I didn't know he existed. So I'm again roots of fruit. So this is why I can still talk to mommy. I didn't know he existed until I was 5 years old. My father left on my birthday in '77. I now understand why, because my mother was who she was. Um, I found out later on in life that they were taken from her. And I'm assuming while in foster care, they probably were violated. So that's what they know or knew. Um, so when I finally found out that they existed, you're a little 5-year-old girl, you're excited. I got another big brother. Woohoo. Yeah, no. Um, woke up being carried down the hall and yeah, don't tell mommy or else. One of those situations. I can tell you each and every time it happened, what I was wearing, what he was wearing, what house we were in, which room we were in, where mommy was, where my siblings were. And I can also tell you that I'm the only one of all 4 of the girls that mommy birthed that he touched. Now, he also bothered a few of my cousins as well before he ventured out and started bothering people outside of the family. But I was his first victim and it lasted from age 5 to age 13. Not just molestation, but actual brutal violation. Yeah,
So you were 7. How old was he about?
I was 5, he was 17.
I am sorry.
Hmm.
Now, when did you tell somebody?
Um, I told my oldest sister when I was 22. I told mommy when I was 24. Here's the kicker. When I was 13 years old, my mommy sent me away We were living in Houston at the time. She sent me back home to Louisiana to live with someone else. And she told me, I sent you away because I was trying to protect you, which means that she knew the whole time. Yep. Good old Southern, don't talk about what happens at home.
Yeah.
Yep.
And wow, when you realize that, what went on in your head with that? When
Oh,
she
I
said,
hated her.
mm,
I hated her and everybody that was connected to her.
mm,
Mhm. And that's why I started well, I started cutting many years before then, but I started cutting again because I had stopped for many years, and then it just got to a point where physical pain is easier to deal with than um, emotional pain, so I just started cutting again.
yeah,
But yeah, it's it was a thing. But then, you take it back. A lot of people talk about generational curses. The same thing that happened to me, I found out later from my uncle happened to her with her brother. So I guess she thought that was the norm. I don't know.
that's it. Sometimes, especially those old way of thinking, if I got through it, you'll get through it too.
Right.
It's that thing. Like I was strong enough to get through it, so will you. And
And
that's
she
unfortunate.
articulated that. She said that. She told me, well, I didn't help you when you were coming up as a young adult and with the kids and whatnot because I see me and you the only one I knew was strong enough to make it through the changes and the challenges you were going through. Your other sisters and brothers would have never made it through what you went through. But mommy, I tried to take myself out. Where were you? I knew you was gonna make it through. Yeah,
As if that was a badge of honor to
right.
that you're strong enough for that. And you speak to your mom to this day though. Like you and her
I
have a
take care of
relationship.
my mother. I take care. I'm the only one out of all seven of her children who take care of her. My mom has seven children, two that live 2 minutes away from her. Mommy just had a couple of strokes. Don't none of them go check on my mama. I do
How are you able to do that though? Without
because
any
that's my mother. Because that's my mom. Because I'm a roots of fruit person. Once I found out who her father was, because what she never let me know her dad.
okay.
I didn't, I knew he existed and I saw him, but we were never left alone with him.
Hmm.
He was never at our house for more than 30 minutes at a time that I can remember as a child.
Okay.
So I didn't know him like that. And that's when I learned that was her way of protecting us. Okay, so I was saying my mother is one of 15 children, right?
Hmm.
I have an auntie who has a son that's her brother, right? Meaning her father did to her what my brother did to me, and she had a child as a result. This is a generational thing, absolutely. It just that part did not touch my children. The part that touched my children was the concept of not understanding how to love and how to receive love because it was never given properly. The concept of what I did was I told myself I'm going to be opposite of my mother, right? So my mother was an overachiever, right? She valedictorian of every school she's ever been in. She was the first black officer in Houston Police Department that was um HP homicide division. My mom has many accolades, right? I have a high school diploma, but I've been there for everything for my kids. H up with you call it PTO president, class mom, sports mom. I was there for all of that. However, her anger and her rage because she was never healed from the traumas that she experienced, from the physical to the sexual beatings that she received as a child. I carried that as well because I also didn't think I needed to be healed. I just needed to be there for my children. I
Hmm.
just showed up inappropriately. You know, if I wasn't yelling at them, or if I wasn't hitting my son, I was over loving them. I was the helicopter mom. I was the, oh, you can't go nowhere unless I'm there. I don't trust nobody mom.
Mhm.
I was the sheltering mom. I was the I don't trust nobody mom. I was imbalanced in every sense of the word,
Yeah.
completely imbalanced. And I'm still working on obtaining that balance. I'm closer to balance than I ever was before. You know what I'm saying? But I still have a long way to go, and I can acknowledge that. I just I wanted to be opposite of my mom so much
Mhm.
that I went way over there.
You went to the total other end of the spectrum.
Right.
So let me ask you this. So you said you were in an abusive relationship.
Mhm.
Is that when you was that through all of your relationships, just one of them? Was it a pattern? Was it I lived and learned? What was that like?
Oh, it was definitely a pattern. It was just how you defining abuse. My first marriage, he was a serial cheater, but I thought I deserved it. Like, you know what I mean? That's it doesn't matter. I still have him, type thing. Some love is better than no love.
Yes.
Second was the physical,
Hmm.
right? The third one was a little bit different because I suspected that he might possibly be bothering one of my girls. So I almost went to jail on him. So that lasted 3 months.
Mm.
Right. And then the last one was a whole um drug abuser. So abuse is abuse is abuse because I had what they consider what is the word? Codependent mentality.
Yes. Yes. So now let's touch on the one that you said could have possibly touched one of your children,
Hmm.
one of your daughters. Was that ever confirmed? And if it was, how did they tell you? And what was your response or your actions when you found that out?
Okay. So again, I come home from work, and this is one of the reasons why I work from home. I came home from work, and my son came and woke me up, and he was like, "Ma, such and so got um baby girl in the bathroom. She was a year and a half, and she was in a potty training stage. My rule was, she's a girl. I got it. I don't need you potty training her. I got it." Well, he had her in the bathroom, and I bust the door open. He had his hand over her muzzle. His nails were in her face, and she had a knot because she was trying to get his hand off of her face. She had a knot on her head. She hit her head on the little counter next to the toilet.
Mhm.
I got her back. My son got her back. He called the police, and yeah,
Wow. So
you
you
can do
don't
whatever
know.
you want to do to me. I don't have a problem with it. I could take it,
Yeah.
right? But when you cross the line with my kids, I have zero understanding. And whatever happens, happens.
No, for sure. So we don't know if he actually ever did anything though.
Other than the marks that were on her face and her forehead, no, not
Okay.
that I know of.
Okay. Okay. So
It's just
now
the thought.